What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rimworld. Or should I say, Conduit Explosion World. Um, is there anything worth mentioning before we dig in? Let me see here. There's a couple rallies going on. There's a Trump rally going on in Michigan today, and tomorrow's the Big Daddy, the Madison Square Garden rally, which is going to be badass. You ought to see the uh, the list of speakers that are slated. Musk is going to be there. Dana White's going to be there. Tulsi Gabbard, uh, the VP, JD Vance, um, RFK Jr. I mean, they're all going to be there, man. It's going to be a great time. So I'm kind of looking forward to that personally. And UFC 308 is going on right now. It's over there in the Middle East, in what is it, Abu Dhabi, or however you pronounce that. I think that's one reason that they're streaming it as early as they are, because of the time difference. Besides that, though, man, weather is nice where I am. I'm up here in Indiana, so I think right now it's maybe mid to lower 70s, or actually, it's probably, well, yeah, I'd say it's probably like it's anywhere between 70 and up. I haven't really looked at the official weather broadcast or anything, but I think they said it was supposed to be around upper 60s, lower 70s, and right now the leaves are changing and falling down and stuff, so it's like a perfect depiction of fall weather. So it's really nice outside, and I've always believed too that it winds up making coffee taste better. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but all right, man, let's jump into this. Now, I wanted to play last night, man, but I just got home too damn tired. Just didn't feel like messing with anything. Just wanted to come home and relax. Not that playing this game isn't relaxing or anything, but sometimes you just want your brain to shut off. So anyway, we are here now, and looks like we got one of the torches built. That's good. So like I said last time, I'm just gonna keep working on this wall and just keep plugging along. Now you know me, like I said earlier, man. This is Conduit Explosion World, so whenever you load up a new game, sooner or later there's probably going to wind up being one of those. So hedge your bets. So we'll see what happens here. Oh yeah, some more news. I guess Israel started attacking Iran with some sort of reprisal attack. I don't know what's going to happen to all that, man. It's getting a little weird over there, with Iran and Israel, and say nothing about all the Ukraine crap that's going on. It's a little concerning, to say the least. I haven't had any midnight visitors lately, though. Like I said in a couple episodes ago, somebody broke my chain link fence gate, and I kind of remember. I think when it happened, I think it happened like, and the reason being is because I woke up at like a weird time that morning, at a time that I don't normally wake up, and sometimes whenever that happens, it's because your body or your ears or mind or something heard something, but it doesn't really register with you when you're half asleep. But that morning, when I woke up to go and get ready for work and stuff, I looked outside and I saw my gate was all thrashed. Bottom bar on it was bent all to hell, and one of the brackets that's used to act as like a hinge, it was busted. And the gate was opened and bent out. And so after looking at everything, I was kind of convinced that somebody had, I don't know, man. If somebody was, it might have been like somebody drunk or something like that, walking around in people's freaking yards, which I'm not happy about because in order for them to have done what I saw, they would have had to have been walking around in my backyard, which is it's definitely not something I like to think about. But for whatever it's worth, they didn't break anything else. Nothing was stolen or anything, which is why I'm thinking it was just some dumbass that was either drunk or I don't know. Maybe maybe they were just somebody who isn't very intelligent or something. But either way, nothing else was broken or stolen or anything. So, but they broke it, and I bent it back in place and replaced the hinge thing that following day or the day after. So it's not really a big deal, but it's just one of those things. But I haven't seen anything else happen since, so I guess that's good. And I am beginning to apply to new jobs, man, which is something I don't like to think about, primarily because the jobs that I've applied to so far are the kinds of jobs that you don't really feel completely qualified for. Like one job was a city job for a developer that they were needing for their web work, and I came really really close to trying to get that job by progressing with the interviewing processes. But after I spoke to the HR people and learned a little more about what was going on with the role and the people over there, I saw too many red flags and I just kind of bowed out of it. And the the uh, the salary increase wasn't really that great either. I mean, it was only a few thousand more. Nothing really, worth jumping ship for after you've been at a place for 10 or 11 years. So I tried to play it smart and bow out of that. And I also applied to another job, um, a city close to me. And this job, I know for a fact, or at least I shouldn't say I know for a fact, but I feel, at least as far as things like the political and leadership stuff is concerned, I'm not qualified for it, or at least I don't think I am. Because it's basically a director role, which means that I'll be in charge of some people alongside doing things that the actual responsibilities call for. And it's those technical things that I feel like I'm more qualified for because they're basically wanting somebody to come in and focus on user experience and UI design for their websites. And I think for the most part I could handle that stuff, but it's all the other stuff though that I'm not comfortable with. But in any event, though, I've applied to it just for shits and giggles because in my mind, I rationalize it by thinking that, well, okay, despite the fact that I'm probably not qualified for it or that I probably won't get a phone call, which is okay. I'm not like in some sort of super rush to find a different job or something, but in my mind, I'm rationalizing it by making it seem as if, at a minimum, it's getting my resume out there and it's also beginning to get me into the flow of things to kind of see what's available and to if I do get lucky enough to get any kind of um, interview, it'll at least help me practice my interviewing skills and stuff. But like I said, I'm not in any rush for this. I would love to get out of where I am just because of some of the dickheads that I work with. I'm just so fucking over their bullshit. But I can eat shit for however long I've got to if it means surviving and holding out for that one meatball of a job that I can apply to and maybe one day get. It's just that there's things going on in both the industry as well as my specific employer's place that I don't like. We've got some leaders that are running ramshod without any kind of accountability for anything. They're manipulative and liars, dishonest, and they're to an extent, to some low level degree, somewhat abusive even. And I'm just kind of, I'm just over it, man. Okay, anyway, enough of my prattling there. That's where I am with stuff. We've got a bulk goods trader, which I definitely want to do. Let me see here. Here we go. hopefully we get something decent out of this. So we definitely need more components. So let's look at that first. Show me the components. Yes, 15 of them. That'll help out. 15 of those. We'll take the advanced components. Yes, and it looks like we can get rid of some of this, textile stuff. So that's good. Uranium, plasteel. It's gonna be expensive. But like I said, we're gonna be able to sell a lot of stuff though too. So it's gonna be good. Now again, for anybody watching this who isn't familiar with how I trade, you're probably wondering why I'm getting rid of these. And it's because my clothing template basically forces everyone to only wear clothing that's, I think, normal or above, or 50 or 51% and up, because at 50% it's basically deemed as, tattered or whatever. And whenever it reaches that point, I just get rid of them. I don't know if that's necessarily the best way to do it, but that's kind of the way that I've kind of learned to do it. So just kind of roll with it because it seems to be a thing that works for me. Alright, so there's that. Alright. I'm sorry if you can hear me slurping my coffee. Let's see, what should we get rid of? Because we've got a lot of stuff that we can get rid of, and that's a good thing. I'm just not sure exactly what I should get rid of, though. Finally developing a good supply of ducks, though. Kind of digging that. I don't know why. I mean, I guess there's not really a whole massive use, or big use of ducks in particular, especially whenever you compare stuff like that to things like either muffaloes or especially the boomalopes. But I'm just kind of happy to have some ducks, I think we can probably. So Mr. Horse is getting some age on him, and so is Mrs. Horse. We might have to change that at some point. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, though. Because he's male, and he's getting some age on him. I think anything after 6, and you can kind of sit there and tell yourself, well, the horse is getting old. He's definitely an adult, I'd say anything after 10 years old, though, and you're talking about an old horse. But I don't know. I might be completely wrong with that, because by that measure, you could say that it's time to get rid of Mrs. Horse. And I really do think that she needs to be sold. So I think we probably will do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of Mrs. Horse. Part of me doesn't want to, and Mr. Horse as far as that's concerned, because he's getting kind of old too. We'll get rid of these guys. I think I'll hang on to them. I think I'm going to hang on to all of the yaks, because I've always found yaks to be more difficult to get a hold of in this game for some reason. I don't know why too, but it might have something to do with my what do you call it? Can't think tonight or today. Biome. Because I always pick like a temperate biome, I think it is. I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. I would think that yaks would want temperate biomes, but I don't know. One thing I always try to do, though, is get rid of the males and hang on to just one male, That makes breeding easier to manage. Get rid of those guys. I'll go ahead and get rid of this one too, I think. Damn, we've got... Yeah, we need to get rid of some cheese. I didn't realize I had so many fowls. I don't know how you pronounce that. Is it full or foul? Get rid of that one. Get rid of this one. No, those are the yaks, and I said I wasn't going to get rid of them, but I forgot about all these little ones up here. Okay. Alright, there we go. I don't want to sell any more animals. Let's focus on textiles. Damn, we've got 14,000. That is insane. I didn't realize I had that much. Let's see if we can get maybe 5. Oh, shit. Is there anything else that we can... There's just nothing else that I really need. I was hoping to get rid of more than that, but... Transfer to... Damn it, I hate it when it does that too. That's gonna take forever. Let's try 100. Forever too. 70. Wasn't a bad trade. I would have loved to have gotten rid of more of my textile stuff, but I'll take it. Maybe I should get this meat. In fact, that's what I'll do. Because we do need more food. Or, I mean, I don't necessarily think that we need more food, it's just that I'd like to have more food. 3, 4. Oh. 5, 6. There we go. That's not too shabby. Helps out a lot. That's almost half of that, so that'll make some room, I hope. Is there anything else? Because I don't think there is. I guess we could take the neutroamine, but it's just that I don't... Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and take it, I guess. No... Yeah, I guess. Honestly, I don't think I need it, but... Or even really want it that much, but I'd love to get rid of some more of these textiles. Let's see if we can do that. 7. Ouch. Stop here. Let's try 3. Screwed up. What just happened? Neutroamine or whatever really costs that much? Hey, bear with me, guys. I think I'm having a little bit of a moment here. It's this interface too that they've built for trading isn't really the most straightforward. Sometimes it's easy to kind of get confused. There we go. 297. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. That wasn't bad, man. Not bad at all. Got a pretty good amount of class steel. Got some good food. More steel. Lots of money, so not too shabby. If you look at our food stores, man, we're actually looking pretty damn good. We'll look even better once the next wave of rice gets generated. Okay. Let's see if we can... Still not dry enough. Oh man, man, oh man, oh man. Uh-oh. Shit. What the hell is she doing? This is not good. Not good at all. Fuck. Man, Abby's gonna get killed. Straight up. Is there not anyone around here? I don't know what to do, man. I don't think Orc Hall would. Good news is that she's not hurt yet. Her save. Let me see here. What's... Should I have her run away or just try to Baron Grin it? Because she'll have to run a pretty good amount of space in order to get close to the coverage of the... Try it. Damn it. 3 hours. Gee, okay. Hold on. We'll be able to save her. Looks like we took out the bear. You would think there would be some level of common sense in the logic, you know? What's he doing? Why don't you pick up that fucking medicine? That way I don't have to hold your damn hand. Okay, hold on. I think that'll buy us enough time to be able to rescue her now. Loss. Blah, blah, blah. It looks like she'll be okay. She's in pretty good pain, though. Meantime, I'll make sure that we pick up this weapon here, so let's go ahead and equip that. Good thing we treated her in the field, because if we wouldn't have, we would have lost her. What's he doing? There we go. We're good. We'll be okay. I saw something here that I didn't realize needed to be done. Nothing major, but me and how I am, man, I get anal about stuff like that. Abigail! Shooting? Plants? Medical, I guess. Build. Super immune. This what again? Actually gonna do that, because that way she'll be less likely to lose her shit over stuff. Part of me is wanting super immune, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go with this. Night is my sushi night, man. Last week I put about 3 steaks of yellowtail tuna in the freezer, and before that, 2 steaks of salmon. So looking forward to it, man. Wait a minute. When did I tell them to... Did I tell them to train those? I guess I did. Sell them later, I guess. I usually don't keep alpacas. Maybe I should, but I don't, you know. A little foggy outside. Alright, let's see here. Start planning up our next section. I believe it's 9. 1, 2. Let's see, I can just do this. Yeah, 9. So 9 out here. Let's see here. 9 again. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3 5s. 1, 2, 3. One, four, 2 4s. Focus on this first. It's going to cause some problems for these. So before we do that, let's go ahead and change that up, I guess. What we'll do is we'll, let me see here, what can we do? See, that's going to cause problems no matter what, so should just go ahead and do this. Why can't I? Oh, there we go. We'll wait for those to get built, and then we'll deconstruct all of that. I think what I'll do also is add that to the... Well, it's already in the exit. Good. Okay, come on. Here lately, I've been watching the Unsolved Mysteries. Now, back in the day, and I mean like back in the '90s or whatever, I used to watch that show all the time. And I remember too, it was always on Fridays, or at least that was one of the days I would watch it because when I was a kid in elementary and high school, there used to be this program called TGIF. Some of you, maybe all of you, know what I'm talking about, but I used to love that show because it had Family Matters, Boy Meets World. I don't know, man, a couple other shows that I kind of liked, but I always watched it because of the Family Matters. I love Family Matters, man. It's always one of my favorite TV shows back in the day. Well, before that came on, Unsolved Mysteries was usually on too. And I shit you not, man, the show itself, the show itself was kind of scary in many ways, but there was something about that intro music that that always gave me goosebumps. I don't know what it is, man, but I always loved the show in general. And these the version of the show that they have now is almost just as good, if not better. Now they don't use the same theme music or whatever. They kind of do, but it's like some sort of different version of it. You know, I don't like it as much as the original, but it's still good. And but the actual episodes though are really awesome because it's just they don't really have the they don't have a guy that is basically narrating it the way that they used to. It's more or less like some sort of um, how do I even describe this? It's really just a composite of interviews through and through. But it's still good, man. It's still just like it's kind of like the old Unsolved Mysteries from that standpoint. And I've been watching it for a while, but I've just now kind of started watching the latest season that they've had. And they've had some. There was one episode about this guy that was murdering people in a park, I guess. I think if I remember right, it's the park bench murders, I think is what they called it. And this episode has a lot with like more or less X Files esque kinds of situations too. Like for example, they covered the Mothman mysteries, and they covered a lot of stuff about the Jack the Ripper. I'm trying to think what else have I seen so far. Oh, there was this other episode too of a basement murder that happened. I guess this chick, she was at her house by herself, and something weird happened where it sounds as if somebody broke into her house or something and murdered her in the basement. And the boyfriend or the husband or whatever was away at the time, and he comes home and finds it, and one thing leads to another, and they never figured out who it was that did it. Um, and then I think there was one other episode too that I saw from this latest season that was pretty good, but I think I still have about maybe 3 more episodes to go before I finish this season. But so far, it's really been great. One thing I'm really looking forward to is the Welcome to Derry show that's going to wind up. Hold on a second here. Dang it. Allow, reinstall. Um, Anybody who's familiar with the Stephen King universe and it or Pennywise and all that shit, they're coming out with I think I can't remember if it's going to be like a Netflix thing or what type of TV show where it's going to cover some of the stuff that happened, I think, up to the events of it. So I'm really pumped about that. I love the whole it saga because there's just so much I mean, I love Stephen King in general because if you're familiar with any of his books, if you read it and some of the stuff with the oh the vampire crap. For some reason, I always have a problem remembering what the name of that stupid town is, but that if you've read some of his short stories and all this stuff, there's little piece like Tommyknockers, for example. There's a piece or a section in the Tommyknockers book where some of the characters are driving around and they seem to they joke around with each other because they thought they saw a clown out in the middle of nowhere, and it turns out that the road that they were on was like one of the roads that I think leads into Derry, something like that. There's stuff like that, that goes on, and um, that's one thing I love about Stephen King books and stories and stuff is that there's always pieces of it that kind of interconnect his other stories with through characters and things. But yeah, the whole Welcome to Derry TV show is going to come out before too long. I don't really know when. It might actually be another year before it comes out, but I'm really looking forward to it because that guy that played Pennywise in the latest iteration is going to play Pennywise again, I guess, in it. And for anybody who hasn't read the book, you definitely want to do that, man. Because in my opinion, the book is better than the movie. If they're putting those on one of those hitch spots, that makes me wonder that. No, it's allowed. I don't understand why they keep doing that. It's kind of irritating. What's wrong with Tiffy? Learning starved. This environment. Clean it up then. Corpse bile. I don't like how dark some of these rooms are. Problem though is that I don't want to have to put a bunch of lights up everywhere because I don't want to have to push our limits with our power just yet. Because I think the majority of our power probably comes from those solar panels, which give us the storage or the stored juice in our battery arrays. I don't know yet. Power, though, is something that we're going to wind up having to revisit at some point, I think. Just don't want to have to mess with it right now. I think we're a ways off from that, though, thankfully. Let me see here. I'm going to have to start mining some of this crap. Hey guys, I'm gonna step away for a second because I need a coffee refill. I will be right back. Hunter lacks a ranged weapon. I'm betting that's going to be Abby. Yep. Alright, do we have any backup? We don't. You know what? I need to build some more of those, I think, charge rifles. So what are we working on on this one? Components. Always components. So I think what I'm going to do... No, we need... What was that? Did you see that? That went from 8 to 21. That was weird. Just don't know if I feel comfortable yet telling them to change from making components to other stuff. What's this? English learning assistant. Okay, I don't think I want him doing that. Where's Kenzo? Kenzo. Okay, let's see. It's like there's just so much going on, it's hard for me to have a chance to really do anything else, you know? Uranium, silver, plasteel. Let's do that. Okay. Now Kenzo, back to him. Let me see here. Where's Kenzo? There he is. I just worry that they're spending too much time hauling things and cleaning things. I want us to get to a point where we don't have to worry so much about components, at least for a while, you know? So let's see what this does. He's wandering around. Seriously? He should not be wandering around. Why is he doing that? Is he not using this one? It says any worker. It's not suspended. Let's have him. This is a little trick that I sometimes use. Let's see what he does. Still wondering. That's weird. For some reason, I can't have him work on this. I don't understand why. This says Espinoza. So let's say frigate. Let's put Kenzo on it. Okay, in fact, let's do that for this one too. Let's say, well, not this one too, but I mean, put Espinoza on this one and Omar on this one. Okay, now let's Let's see what happens. I hate it when I've got to mess with stuff like this. See, I'm right-clicking on this, and it's still not doing anything. I wonder if I have to have them haul things in order to... Because maybe they have to have that in order to, like, haul pieces of metal to the bench or something. Yeah, look. I think that might be what's... Well... Actually, no, he's just hauling crap to... This is pissing me off. I can't right-click on it for some reason and prioritize it. I hate it when I have to screw around with shit like this, man. And I just don't understand what's causing it. Unless I didn't have this set up. Oh, okay, I guess I did. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I think it's causing some problems. He keeps wanting to haul instead of actually making friggin' components for some reason. I don't understand that. What is going on with this? And this says Omar. Well, that thing does, never mind. But that says Espinosa. What the hell? Good. Okay. Now I can right click on it. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. That right there was the reason that... I can't make heads or tails out of that. I don't understand that. It makes me wonder if this was another weird bug or something. In any event, I guess he's working on it now. That pisses me off because I bet you a buck that's one reason why we're as low as we are on components. Well, we're running on all cylinders now. Okay, and that's been done, so let's go ahead and deconstruct these. Now we can go ahead and keep working on this. Well, I gotta sneeze real quick. Excuse me. Can I make plasteel doors or auto doors? Can. Sweet. Okay, that's what I'll do then. I'll go for there. We need to give Abby some sort of weapon here. It's not going to be what I want her to have, but something at least. I'm still amazed at the fact that we haven't been raided or haven't encountered any bugs or any kind of stuff like that. We've really been lucky with that, I think. Is that a timber wolf? Dance pate. Okay. Dance party. Let's do it, man. Let's jam. Time to party. Hope this helps them chillax a little. Alright. Looks like they had a good time. That's good. I suppose that's worthy of a save skipoo. Surprised we haven't had a conduit explosion. Keep waiting on that to happen. Good, we got our little light installed. And we're making some pretty good progress, I think, with that. So that's definitely good. I don't like how dirty this is in here, though. Kind of running light on rice. Which I never thought I'd end up saying. I mean, we're fine on food, don't get me wrong, but I'm but our rice stores don't appear to be as high as what they normally are. Well, I'm looking forward to getting this wall stuff done because we'll be able to definitely take advantage of all this new space that we're going to wind up having. That'll be badass. Looks like we got our homes made, so we'll go ahead and set that up now to be mined. Good job, Abby. Give them hell. Look at her go. Seriously? Jeez. I didn't realize this. Okay, Kaufman. Let's butcher a few of these here. Whenever Sam wakes up, she'll be helping out with that too. So, now, back to those animals. We should have some space now. And we will get... any others? There is... focusing on this stuff. She's actually cooking. Here we go. We're beginning to have some food now. At least as far as meat's concerned, we are. I'm beginning to wonder if we should just go ahead and designate this as a different zone and assign it to someone. That way they can kind of keep up with everything. I have to think about that because there might be a chance that we might need to do that. Boy, he's soaking wet. on one of my other monitors, I have UFC 308 going on. Man, you should see some of these dudes right now. They are just completely soaked in blood. It's insane what those guys go through, man. You know it's got to be one hell of a life whenever you're beating people up for a living. I don't see how those guys do that shit, man. Sure as shit isn't the kind of life I'd ever want to lead. I almost kind of feel sorry for them. Let me see here. So that's last number 4 piece. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 3 threes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. 4, 2, 3, 3, 3. 4, 2, 3, 3, 3. 4, 2, 3, 3, 3. That worked out perfect. It's coming along, man. It's definitely coming along. Think about how much room I'm gonna have to do stuff with. This is gonna be great. Now, with that being said, though, we're gonna have to keep in mind what kind of effect that's gonna have on our main pen area. That'll be something that we're gonna have to kind of think about. I think I said last time I was just gonna try to break it up into sub pins, because I think that's going to be the only thing that we'll be able to do. Because I don't want to do something where I, open up this whole entire area out here to be in a pin. I don't want to mess with that. Is that one of ours? It's about time to start getting on some of that again. Sometimes whenever I think about how much my life sucks whenever I'm down in the doldrums over my job, I sometimes watch these UFC dudes, and I'm thinking to myself, well, at least I don't have to go that route. Damn it. Stop fighting each other, God. One thing I've always been amazed at, though, whenever I watch the UFC people, is that almost every single time they get done beating the absolute piss out of... Here we go. Oh, it's one of those. Every time they get done with their bouts, they're so freaking trained and professional that they walk up to one another and shake their hands and give them hugs and stuff. I mean, it just kind of amazes me that they're able to do that. And that just goes to show just how disciplined they are, I guess. They're able to kind of look at their profession as if it's a profession and a job or something instead of something that's personal. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I also know too that whenever I used to play basketball, and I used to be pretty damn competitive with sports and stuff, and I know that sometimes whenever you build yourself up to some sort of championship type thing or competition or something against someone, you get to a point where you try to train yourself to hate that person almost. But after you get done with the bout or the competition or whatever it is that you're doing, you're just so happy to be done with it that you look at that person with a different kind of respect. And I don't know, man, maybe it's not really respect, but just relief, because you're done with it now. You can kind of relax. You don't have to worry about things. Sometimes I think that's what you see whenever you see them walking up to each other and hugging each other after they get done beating the hell out of each other. Kick ass, man. We got all that stuff in the picture. It's great. Why'd she do that? I don't understand why she put that there. I think the raid's gonna take care of that. Let's see the other one too. Maybe we'll be fine. There we go. Did I? Oh, I thought that was a bear there for a second. She doesn't have any weapons. Need to give Nib a weapon. I didn't realize she was unarmed. There's cats. Gabs. Use him. Where's the cougar? Man, what a day. Okay, now where are we again with the wall? Okay, still got one more piece and a few more areas to mine. I think I'm going to put two more lights in there. In fact, I think move this one in there. This one in there, and I'm going to put one more over here. I just don't like how dark it is in here. Okay, we're definitely looking better on the component front. God, Kaufman is pregnant again. She's got about 6 or 7 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My God, she's gonna have 8 kids now. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Kids? No, actually, it's not kids this time. It's kind of surprising. I'm kind of disappointed in the whole artifact stuff up here. Whenever I accepted those quests, they always made it sound as if those were going to attract, new and or better traders and stuff, and it doesn't really seem like that bargain's been fulfilled. It's kind of irritating. Much better. Much, much, much better. We're going to temporarily allow you to construct something here. So I'm going to get that stupid light done. In fact, let me see here. What was phase? She's 8? Oh wait, that's mining. Construction 3. It's time for us to start beefing up other construction specialists, and she's got if we're gonna do that with anybody, we should probably do it with Savannah. Savannah's got... What's Savannah assigned to, though? Ag detail. Tell you what, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Savannah on unrestricted. I'm gonna change Faye to Ag. So put... Oh wait, I accidentally clicked Fleming. Savannah. Let's put Savannah down here, I think. And Faye, I'm gonna put up here, so it looks a little more in line. Yeah, okay. Because Savannah, like I said, we've only got about maybe 3 or 4 people that are really good at construction. I mean, that I actively use for construction purposes. But they're getting some age on them, man, and I'm going to do everything I can with those biosculptor pods to reverse their age. But, you know, in the meantime, I'm going to have others carry the weight whenever they're in there. And Savannah seems to be one of the good candidates for that because she's got... let me see here. She's got 2 passion thingamajiggers that indicate that she likes to do that stuff, I guess. So I'm going to start letting her work on things to build that up. Okay, so with that being said, just let her kind of do her thing. All things being equal, I think we're doing pretty damn good for the most part. I think I'm gonna finally deconstruct that. Actually, is... I suppose there's a bunch of them now that are... Yeah, they've all been hitched. You know, we could probably start working on this. Start making room and stuff. Let me see here. How should we do this? Go ahead and deconstruct that, I guess. Deconstruct that. Trying to think to myself how to to go about looking at this all from the standpoint of how I'm going to wind up using all this space. And I think we're going to have to get rid of this, because what I would like to probably do is just bridge over all of this, you know, so that I can use it for like living space type stuff. Is there anything that we can do on that? Can I at least put these on there? Okay, it looks like I can at least do that. Because I can't put, for some weird reason, I can put a bunch of wood on there, but I can't put this on there. Which just drives me insane, but, you know, live with it, I guess. We'll do that, and see here, if I'm gonna get rid of that, is there any way that we can at least maybe build a different one somewhere? Maybe. These things are such a pain in the ass. I think you'd be able to make one right there, but just can't. Hey, we can put one right there. We'll get rid of this one. Well, I'll do that once we build the other one. This is going to have to be changed. And I'm thinking... how should we go about doing that? Oh crap, I'm not sure. Just not sure, because if we... So we've got this outer wall now, and if we square up a section on each end, like so, maybe we can make that into like rec space. That'd give us more than enough room to put things like our entertainment stuff, you know, the piano, the blah blah blahs. Then we could go ahead and continue on with storage space maybe in these rooms. I don't know. I just don't know yet, man. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Yeah. But doing something like that, maybe we can figure out a way to move this stuff indoors again. It'd be an option. Change the colors of these though. What about pure white? Do that. What does 0 and 0 do? Yeah, let's do that. Accept that. Gonna copy the color. There we go. that's one thing I love about light, or at least, because, you know, with those bulbs, with everything that's going on in the world, man, they're trying to do everything they can to control even the type of bulb you use. And you can still find those bulbs that have pure, basically pure, I don't know if I want to call it white light, but it's basically in the lighting world what white light would be. It's those clear bulbs, you know, the perfectly clear bulbs. Sometimes I can still find those in places like Walmart and stuff, but it's getting harder and harder to find them. Of course, they're trying to do everything they can to change everything over into LEDs. And I'm sorry, man, but the promises that they put on those LED packages is a bunch of bullshit. I've had LEDs that went out after about a couple months. They always cost way more than what they're worth. Beginning to have a ton of chem fuel out there. It's definitely cool. Okay, it looks like Gabs is on this. See, that's the reason that I want more construction people, because 9 times out of 10, it's always Gabs doing all the work. And that's my fault. That's not like, you know, the workers or something being lazy or anything like that. But that's one reason that I wanted to get What's-Her-Face to start doing more stuff with working. Or construction, I mean. Okay, once I hit 100 with the components, I'm going to start back in on some of those other things. Ooh. Oh. Okay, do we have anybody around here? Fleming. Looks like Fleming's on it. That out pretty quick. That was kind of weird. Oh, I bet it was because they just didn't have anything else to burn up. It's cream too. Ooh, horses. Might wind up having a storm again. Oh, come on. God damn it. Ugh. See, this this is so stupid, man. Okay, hold on. Before you, let's deconstruct this one. Okay. All these little games that we've always got to play. Come on now, go away. She's got to go get some more wood, I guess. The only reason I'm doing this is because I don't want the animals to get in there. Cats. Shard rifle. Tiffy. Let's give Tiffy the shard rifle. Halo whenever you get up. Nice. Okay, I do not want this effing rhino. It's not what I want him to be doing. Okay, 1 second. Rhinoceros 3. Rhino number 3. Where are you? Okay, so how many lynxes now do we have? So I think it's time to start selling some of those, man. If we ever see another exotic trader come around, we'll try to do some of that. Ready to keep going now with our ball. Hold on a second here. Let's see here. Get us out. I mean, it's the planning markers are there, but I need to like jog my memory about how everything's arranged. So from this wall gate, it's 21. 21 starts from right there, so 9, right? That's right. Another 9. And then it's a few 5s if I'm not mistaken. 2, 3. So let's focus on that for now. Ah, that stupid mud. Okay. Go screw around with this for a while. Yeah, mud is a pain in the ass in this game. Not exactly sure how to go about doing this. Be kind of cool if we could put some sort of one of those, whatchamacallits, these. But I suppose it's not going to let me because it's not. You know. These. We could put that there, but the problem is that it's the mud that I can't. It's like I'm going to have to build one of these things just to get the conduit out there. That's what it, man. Screw it. Let's get these going. See. All right. Get this done, man. WA Partners. Okay, let's get rid of some of those linkses if we can. Oh shit, it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to. Right, well, there's that. Man, I wish we could get rid of some of this marble stuff. These traders, they always like to sell it, but they never want to buy it. Insect meat. Ugh. Eat the bugs. Alpacas. I want to get rid of these damn things. Those. Let me see here. Those. Okay, what's over here? I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else that I really want. That's gonna be it. Halo. Medicine up. 'Cause I don't ever want that to spoil or whatever. Abby. Silver and everything else can just sit there for now. These things looks like they're planned on, so that's good. Could do. Should have thought of this. Let's just make it right there. Back to planning. Number 3 block. So we got a 2, right? Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Is that right? Yeah, 2. Okay, so we need to do 2, 3, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3. Stupid post. Graph securities. We're just about at a limit with medicine. I don't think we need to get any more of that now for a while. Are there any charge rifles though? Yeah, there's one. Take that. Take another EMP launcher, I think. Tox bomb launcher. If I've ever seen that before. One thing I've noticed with these combat suppliers is that they rarely provide you with the option to buy any armor. I don't understand that. In any event, though, this is all I'm going to get. We have another charge rifle that we can equip someone with. Let's see here. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see here. Let's keep it. Let's see who all we can give charge rifle to. Shooting 6. What's this? She's incapable of violence. Wicked not. Wait. That's Olga. I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna give it to Olga. Shit, where are we here? Here we are. That was Olga. She's got G. Vic. Give Vic the EMP launcher. Halo, whenever you get up, hold this. As I've been sitting here playing this, man, I've been trying to think to myself if I need to go and get anything from the grocery store. I always try to take both my vehicles out for a spin, like stagger them each day, because it's been my experience that whenever I let my truck or car sit for more than a day, they can sometimes do things that I don't like. I've mentioned this before, but the truck that I have, both vehicles are paid off. But they're getting old. You know, they've been paid off for a long time, and I'm trying to hang on to them as long as I can, because I just don't want to have to dick around with another monthly payment on anything, especially while I'm trying to pay my house off. And thankfully, for the most part, both my car and truck run perfectly fine, but I've got some aftermarket gauges on my car that connect to the ODB2 port to read live data and stuff, and one of the metrics that I have set for the displays is misfires. Sometimes the car will misfire, and I never feel it. I never smell anything, never see smoke, or everything's perfectly fine, and there's never a check engine light. But the gauges sometimes register these misfire counts, and I've seen them go all the way up to 19 in a split second. Normally they don't get anything like that, though. Usually it's like maybe one or two every once in a while. And by every once in a while, I mean like maybe on average, I don't know, man, every, I'd say 6 or 7 miles, it'll register a count. And I've contacted the vendor of the aftermarket gauges. I've spoken to Gold Star mechanics that work for GM. I've spoken to other mom and pop shops about it, and they've all said that as long as the misfire count goes down to 0 after a few seconds or whatever, and as long as you don't notice any problems with your driving, or any functionality issues, to just ignore it. And I've done that, man, and every once in a while I'll see, not very often, but every once in a while I might see something as high as a 12. There was only once that I saw a 19 count, and for the 12 counts I've only seen that happen twice. One of them was yesterday. But whenever it happened, I didn't feel anything. Everything was perfectly fine. Didn't hear anything. No check engine lights, and using my ODB2 scan capabilities, nothing ever registers as either being saved or pending in the CMU, or the computer system. I mean. So as far as the computer is concerned, and as far as the car is concerned, everything's right as rain. But still, though, there's always that spidey sense in you that something's off, or that maybe something's going to wind up going out on you at some point. So in order to try to, I don't know, keep things somewhat fluid with both the car and the truck, I always try to take them out every other day, both the vehicles. That way it's kind of staggered and they don't sit too long. So as I'm sitting here thinking about that, though, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, I just don't really need to get out. But I'm probably going to wind up doing it here in a second anyway with the truck, because today's the day to take the truck out. And I mean, as far as the truck's concerned, the truck drives fine as well. It's just that for some reason I had a remanufactured engine installed in the truck a couple years ago, and I've still got one year left of warranty left. I think it's going to expire next October, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing about the engine is that it has a weird startup issue where it acts like it's going to wind up almost stalling out sometimes. It doesn't really come really very close to stalling out, but what happens is you'll start her up and it'll start up immediately fine, but then the tachometer drops down after the initial startup sequence, like the RPM gauge, I mean, it'll drop down after a couple seconds, like there's almost like there's a weird air pocket or something somewhere that causes problems with the spark or something. And then ooh. Hold on a second here. What do we got? All hands on deck, man. What do we got here? Scavenger, he's 15 years old. He's got some mining chops, little intellectual. He's a jogger. Incapable of dumb labor. I mean, hauling and cleaning. Oh man, gas. Yeah, we gotta get this guy. Is there anybody that's close? Lemming. Okay, get him to do it then. Does Pepper, though, have one of those jetpacks? He does. He's also got medicine, too. Alright, we're gonna have him do it. He's got 9 hours. hours, so I think we'll be okay. If we have to, we can field dress them. But the truck, whenever I start it up, it just kind of has this weird thing where it acts like it's going to drop on RPMs for a few seconds. I mean, it fluctuates with the RPMs after the initial startup. And sometimes what happens is I'll uh, I'll step on the gas whenever I notice that it's doing that weird thing. What's the health look like? 8 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and tend to him. Hold on, buddy. Okay. So anyway, it does that startup thing, and whenever I notice that it's starting to do it, and it only seems to happen if the truck has been setting for a long duration, like as in like I don't know. I haven't really been able to isolate what the pattern is, but it either happens because it sits for a long time, meaning like a day or two, or some X number of hours, or because it's cold outside. But in any event, though, whenever I notice that it's doing that shit, that weird startup thing, what I'll do is I'll step on the gas a little bit, and what happens is that it seems to smooth it out. And after a few seconds of that, I'll let off the gas and it'll be smooth. So I mean, I don't know what it is that causes that, but I've tried to take that damn thing to. I've I've got access to a gold mechanic, and I've, in case you don't understand what that means, a gold mechanic is basically somebody who's specially credentialed by General Motors, and it means that they've attended certain kinds of workshops, and they've been verified as having a certain benchmark of training, and so it's like taking a sledgehammer to some of the, to some truck issue or car issue. Whenever you have access to a GM Gold Star mechanic, that means that they really know their stuff, or I should say tech, because they refer to them as techs now. So anyway, I've taken the truck to both that guy as well as the shop that installed the engine numerous times, and nobody has ever been able to completely solve this issue, whatever it is. They don't know what it is, or else they're just not messing with it. Because what I think it is that there's either something really deep in the engine that's responsible for this, whatever it is, or else it's something that someone knows that it's bad enough to warrant condemning the engine, but they don't want to do that because they don't want to have to pay the customer whatever money that it might wind up uh, requiring to fix or refund. And plus too, because of the age of my make and model of truck, there's not really any other alternatives unless I'm willing to go as far as finding a completely different engine to swap in and out with someone else. Ooh, an exotic trader. So one way I've been able to deal with it is just by making sure that I do everything I can to use the truck every other day and not let it sit for very long. And also by just doing that thing with the gas pedal and just wait, I guess, because I've spoken to some of the mechanics about this, like I said, and a lot of them have suggested just kind of waiting it out because you're going to have to let something break before you realize what it is that could be causing it, which effing sucks for obvious reasons. But unfortunately, where I am in the world, up here in Indiana, which is actually in the middle, central Indiana for the most part, there's just not very many places that you can take a car or truck to that have advanced problems and have it be treated by advanced diagnostics, because there's not anybody in my region that seems to really do that much type of work. And I don't trust. First of all, I don't want to have to go all the way into my capital or something like that, because I just don't want to have to go that far with it if I don't need to. And second of all, even if I was willing to go to the capital, which is where all of that type of talent is, I think I don't know any shops up there that I trust enough to give them a shot at it just yet. Because I know that if there's something like hypothetically speaking, like let's say there's like a compression issue with the engine block, which basically boils down to needing to change the damn engine out. Um, there's there isn't really a shop that I trust enough to be able to do something that would merit swapping out an engine again. At least not yet, or at least I don't have the money yet to throw out something like that where I'm willing to take that step. That guy's leaving, man. That pisses me off. That's the second time now the freaking dude's left. Okay, we're gonna get rid of some of these Lynxes. Let's get rid of that one. That one. Lynx. So you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. Get rid of the older Lynxes. Onto this female Lynx of a year. And male. Yeah, there we go. Is there anything else here? Get rid of one of the rhinos. There's not really much more that I can do, I don't think. Glitter World. They've got some Glitter World. Okay. And some components. Gas. We also got some plasteel. They've got some other interesting stuff. What's this? Form a temporary wall by skipping rubble and soil up from deep under the ground. Ooh, that could be handy. Take that. Inspiration. Gas. Kidney. Liver. Damn, I wish we could have received a lung. Gonna get a few of these things here. I'm gonna get another jump pack. Okay, now we can sell some more stuff. Go and get rid of one of those rhinos. Okay. We'll get rid of this male here. This one too. Get rid of that. Those. Extra cow. I think that's all. So we want to go ahead and sell gold, which I don't really mind. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sell that because I don't have any immediate needs for it right now. So I'll roll with that. Where is Kaufman? Figure out where they dropped everything off. Pip's got one. She's got one. Olga doesn't though. Let's go ahead and give her one. So anyway, back to the whole truck thing. The truck itself, it runs fine. The only thing that I've ever noticed with the truck in terms of when it's running, driving whatever, is that sometimes whenever I come to a stop or idle, every once in a while you can see a teeny tiny bit of movement in the RPM arm gauge or whatever, and it's not anything really horrible or anything like that. It's just it's like a it's like every once in a while it might like move. I don't know how much you would say it would be, like maybe a 16th of an inch or something like that, and then you hardly ever see it move ever again. And I don't know what that means. I've spoken to that gold mechanic guy about it, and he said before uh, that if you see a lot of movement in the RPM dial, it can mean a bad torque converter, I guess. I've always been a little leery though about something pertaining to the timing chain, because that shop that put the engine in has been in the crankcase about almost, I think, about 5 times now, dicking around with the timing chain in order to try to fix some of the stuff that I've noticed since having the engine installed. So, man, I don't know what to think about it, man. I sometimes regret going as far as I've gone with the specific engine, but the thing is I didn't really have many other options, because the engine that I had in the truck beforehand was was in a really bad state. I mean, it was having all sorts of stuff like rod knock and piston slap, and it just had all sorts of problems. And I think it was consuming a lot more oil than it should have been. Now with this engine, it's not perfect in terms of some of that stuff. I mean, I hear noises in it too. Like every once in a while, I'll hear some lifter tap, I think it is. And sometimes lifter tap isn't always something that you need to worry about, but it's something that doesn't really make you feel comfortable either. But with this particular make and model of engine, so it's getting late now. Guess we've already been down that path of talking about that, so I'm not going to worry about that. Get it installed. What was I going to say? With this particular make and model of engine, the head is the last place to apparently have oil pumped into it in its general cycle. So sometimes I think that's got something to do with that. But out of curiosity, I have called around to some places. What's that noise? Something's being attacked. Sure be nice to be able to know what the hell it is. Oh, it's that. Oops. Okay. Where's Pepper? Go ahead and do it ourselves, because we're closer. I think we may have accidentally shot it. I had priced local shops in the area, and by local I mean like 30 miles or more away, because there's nothing that does this particular type of stuff in my area. But I priced shops that might be able to do things like an LS swap or something like that, and I was told that for the base LS engine that I would want, I'd be looking at no less than 20 grand to do. And there's a lot of reasons for it that seem to make sense, actually. You're probably sitting in there thinking to yourself, 20 grand for an LS engine swap, that seems insane. Well, the problem is that whenever you start going down that path of changing engines to something like an LS, which for any of you guys who don't know, that's like basically a Corvette engine. You're talking about needing to change all sorts of stuff besides just the engine. You're talking about needing to do stuff where you not only have to change the engine, but then you have to start considering changing the transmission. You have to start thinking about changing things like shocks and hydraulics and things like that because of the weight differences. You're talking about fabrication of parts for linkages. You're talking about changing the footprint inside the engine bay, because sometimes depending on what kind of configuration you're working with, you might have to do things where you cut out certain pieces of the subframe, or things like that. You're talking about a shit ton of work, in other words. And I don't know if it'll ever come to that point or not. I mean, as far as the engine itself is concerned that I have now, I don't think it's got to be replaced anytime soon. And I think, despite the fact that I've noticed things about it that I'm not crazy about, I don't think it's going to wind up blowing up anytime soon. So I'm going to try to just live with what I've got for now and revisit this in, like, maybe whenever spring comes around next year, see how things are looking, because winter is always another brunt that I have to fight through, because whenever it gets super cold outside, you just never know what you're going to run into. So, let's see. Yeah, they keep bothering me about this, and I don't want to do this. I'm not effing selling my damn colony. So anyway, I'm going to revisit things with the truck, because I came close to saying screw it and buying a brand new truck of the 2025s, because I'd really like to have a new Silverado. But to get a base work truck of a 1500 Silverado, and I mean base as in, it has almost nothing, it was going to wind up costing me about 38 to 40 grand. Now, I've got some money saved up, but I wanted to try to keep that for emergencies. And as long as the truck's basically driving okay, with the exception of those stupid little things that are going on, I think the best course of action is to just kind of keep proceeding the way I am. So I think that's where I am on that. Okay, looks like we got that. So let's get that deconstructed. But every day I wake up worrying about stuff like that. It's like, okay, what's gonna happen today? Is the fucking thing gonna start up? Or is the car gonna wind up registering, 100 freaking misfires with no check engine light? It's just that kind of stuff that I spend my time worrying about, man. I wish I didn't worry so much, but I can't help it. Why is she doing that? I hate it when they That makes me wonder how often that kind of crap happens every single time I'm watching stuff. Well, anyway, I've been playing this now for about 2.5 hours, and we're at a pretty good state. I'm surprised I didn't have any of those damn conduit explosions. I was expecting something like that to happen. We did have a fire, but it wasn't really the kind of fire that you worry that much about. Bunch of rhinos up there. I don't need any more rhinos, though. What's that? Marble. But, I think I'm gonna end this episode here, though. Is it? That's one of ours. I'm gonna end this episode here, and I think I'm gonna try to get out, you know, at least go for a spin in the truck. That way I can say I took her out for the day. Might make a trip to the grocery store just to get some stuff, but when I get back, I'm probably gonna wind up making another episode because I was wanting to kind of get caught up on this game. Been wanting to play it all week, man. It's just haven't really either had the energy or the time or whatever. Just like I've always said, you know, with every episode, I'm just gonna keep working on these walls, and I don't know how long it's gonna take to get this crap pumped up or pumped out. But with the number of pumps that I've got there, I wouldn't think that it should take very long. Assuming that the logic in this game means that this will all stack with one another. I'm hoping that's the case. So anyway, let's do a save ski poo. There we go. And I will see you when I see you. Later.